You are listening to All Burgundy and Go Everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Your hosts are myself, Wole, and the homie Glenn. Mo and Ray Jeezy are out, and I'm kind of touched. I'm happy. I'm kind of boosted. We also have my homie Darian D.H. Williams on. What's going on, Darian? I'm
In the
going D.H. I'm saying D.H. What's up, D.H.?
It's all right. In the words of Akeem Jaffer, I am very happy to be here. Thanks for having
My God. This is my guy, man. Hey, man, we're going to talk. Hey, also, man, if y'all didn't know, DH is host of the Breaking Command podcast. Before we go, get started to our particulars, hey, DH, let our listeners know about your podcast.
Hey, listen, man, Breaking Command is a weekly Commanders-based podcast, a D&D football podcast, where me and my guy D-Mitty every week break down everything Commanders as far as what happened last week and what we think is going to happen this week. Also mixing in a little bit of NFL talk in between there. This week, we'll talk about the upcoming game, also get into a little bit of Jim Irsay, and it'll be a good time. So check it out on YouTube at D&D Football Podcast, and you can follow me everywhere. Appreciate it.
Sweet, man. Sweet. Hey, also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, or Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go Everything. Also tweet us at ABG_everything. And hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go Everything Facebook page. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Everything YouTube channel. Hit the red subscribe button, like a bunch of videos. Like I always say, I'm being redundant. It's good for the algorithm, so it's good for me. All right, so make sure y'all do that. All right, man. Anyways, it's time for the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. We'll talk about the Commanders' upcoming game against the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. All right, man. Monday night goes down. Washington takes on the first place team in the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. Best record in the league, man. DH, after what you saw from quarterback Taylor Heinicke Sunday against the Vikings, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, who now rocking the chain and feeling real good about himself, does Washington have any real hope to beat the Eagles?
Well, I mean, it's hope when you show up, right? So you got to show up. But if we're keeping it 100, man, keeping it real, if the quarterback play is consistent with how it's been for the past couple weeks, you better pray, okay, and take the under, because we ain't gonna score that many points. I don't think. I mean, you got a shot. Seriously, you got a shot because you show up. But if the offense doesn't pick it up, or if Taylor Heinicke doesn't value the football like he should, it's gonna be a very long day and in prime time, and might be a might be a go to bed early game.
Yeah. Hey, Glenn, what about you, man? Is there any hope? Real hope, man.
Jesse Jackson said, "Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive." Right? Most Commanders fans, you keep hope alive. One of the big things is, DH said it. You got to score points. In order to win football games, you got to score points, right? And this Commanders team don't score average less than 20 points for the NFL. You can't win games that way. Not against a high-powered offense like Philadelphia Eagles, who have scored a lot of points this season, right? They have scored a lot of points running and throwing the football. They're a well-balanced football team. I just say this: defense has to show up, the offense has to show up, and they need a complete game. And Antonio Gibson needs to return more kicks.
Oh yeah, that's a guarantee, man. For me, I think the defense will keep them in the game close enough. I mean, but obviously they're gonna be on the field. To me, they're gonna be on the field a lot, so they're gonna get tired. They're gonna give them some points. But I do think the defense is gonna show out. That's one thing I know. A lot of us, Washington fans, we're getting on Jack Del Rio, but let's keep it a buck, man. This man has got this unit balling, bro. Like, this is what it is, man. He's got him balling, and I've said this before. Like, he's been the most consistent coordinator on this team for the last 3 years. I mean, counting this season. You can say you may want this team to be like the Baltimore Ravens of that Super Bowl year, or the Bears of '85 or whatever, but they're not. I mean, they're not that good, but they're good. They've been good. First year as a defensive coordinator, he was a top 5 defense. Second year, it was a bad year, but this year they're back on the come up. So you have to give him credit. And this is without Chase Young, so you gotta give him credit. Like, this is what he's done. He's been a decent defensive coordinator for this team. Now, you may think that you may want better, but he's been decent. He's been good. So I feel like they'll be in the game for a certain period of time. But again, it goes to, will this offense put that defense in a bad situation? And I watched the Packers game. We've all watched the Packers game. we've watched the Vikings game, right? We saw the Colts game. There are plays out there that are meant to be had by secondaries when Taylor Heinicke throws the football. You're going against two of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, probably the best tandem in the NFL, and Bradbury and Slay. You can't throw them fluff balls and thinking they ain't gonna do nothing with them. That's the thing. You can't throw those type of footballs going to scary and thinking that these dudes got ball. They got ball skills. You can't throw those footballs to them. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. Like, I know we've seen Scary do work against Slay in the past, but when you're throwing 50-50 balls up there, it's not about how good your route running is now. It's about now you got to attack the ball. And Darius Slay is one of the best at attacking the football. Same for Bradbury. So
And with that defensive perspective, you know, Philly defense, and you went back to Del Rio. I mean, the defense has been consistent for the past few weeks, and the defense has literally kept the team in the game.
Yes.
And I mean, you can't really ask for any more from the defense. They've been doing their best. And I mean, it's just like with anything, bro. You can only hold but for so long.
Yes.
So when they're holding teams to, maybe 14 points, and they're getting stops and turnovers, and the offense come out and don't do anything, like, we got to put the blame on the quarterback, bro, because he's not doing what he's supposed to do with the football. I mean, a lot of these games, if you look back at the Colts game, that game could have been over.
Yes.
That game could have been over, and it came down to a terrible thrown ball to your dog, Terry McLaurin, who came up with it. Now, granted, that doesn't happen every week. Okay, we've been lucky. We've been on the other end, on the good end of this, but it doesn't happen. In the same way it happened in Minnesota. You got lucky.
Yeah.
But, those throws, bro, I don't care if it was a touchdown, bro. Them throws should be getting picked apart.
Yes.
Because there were terrible throws that I don't tell my 7-year-old to throw that. Okay, like, we don't do that. So we've got lucky, but that won't continue. And you've seen like just how it's been over the past couple of weeks, is that you keep trying to force it, it's gonna bite you, and it has. And I think it will this week if he try that again.
Yeah, he tried to get in the same thing to your point. Like, that's what happened in the Minnesota game. Like, you got lucky, but eventually, when you play a better team, they make you pay. The defense gave up 13 points for real. Let's just call it. They gave up 13 points. He gave up that interception for them to score, to put it at the time to make it 17. But if you look at the end of the game was 20-17. The defense only gave up 13 real points. That's on him.
So a team that's been very good on offense. Stepped up and held their own.
Exactly. And that defense in Minnesota isn't good. This is the thing. And they can only score 13 against a bad defensive Minnesota team. Now you're going on the road to play an Eagles defense that can rush the passer, and their secondary is playing great football. Glenn, your thoughts, man?
Yeah, man, you got to beat the offensive line. We know Taylor Heinicke is always running for his life, right? Mm-hmm. This week you have the Philadelphia Eagles, as y'all guys talked about. They're gonna cover down in the scramble modes, right? Those scramble modes, they have fast enough defensive linemen to try to keep Taylor Heinicke inside. Washington definitely didn't have to run the ball, but they also need to get good field position. The defense gives them good field position. They need to cash in on the field position that they get from the defense, right? We talked about last week's game. They had great field position when they defense stopped Minnesota and had Minnesota stuck on a 5, start on a 10, start on a 20. I had to punt the ball from their own end zone. The offense couldn't even gain 20 yards or even get a first down to keep drives going. Drives at the end of the game, you needed to get a first down. We talked about on the podcast or the post game the interception. It was 2nd and 11, right? There was no need for you to throw the ball on 2nd and 11. It was run the ball on 3rd down, make it manageable. Right? Make it manageable. Try something on 3rd, get the ball, and then you can punt it off and maybe punt it, get a first down or punt it and keep the clock running because you had 8 minutes left in the game. This game becomes with the Philadelphia Eagles a defensive game, but also becomes a clock management game as well. If the Commanders are able to win the time of possession by running the football, you have to keep the Philadelphia Eagles offense off the field.
So my question, we're talking about the offense. How much pressure is on Scott Turner to come up with an effective offensive game plan against the Eagles, DH?
Look, man, I think he's been under the microscope for the past few weeks. You know, you can't say Taylor Heinicke is your guy and he should know your system, and he's been in your system for years and can't run it. Okay. As an offensive coordinator, you got to be able to see what's not working and adjust. Okay. If we know he's too short, we need to roll the pocket. Okay. It took 3 or 4 batted balls that they started moving the pocket for Taylor Heinicke to make the throw. Now, granted, our offensive line has not been the best, but you work with what you have and you adjust, right? So I think Scott Turner is under the microscope because it's his offense, and regardless of who's in there, they're not doing enough. Some of the things that they do well, they do, and then they go away from it. So those runs where Curtis Samuel gets the ball and takes it, and then they throw that play away, almost like it's no good. So Scott Turner is definitely under the microscope for me. He has to do more. I need to see a little more consistency, a little more ingenuity, find out quickly what we do best and do it, because like we said earlier, 16 points, you averaging 16 points, that's not going to cut it in a scoring league. And especially if you want a chance against Philadelphia, you're going to have to find a way to score more points.
Yeah, and to your point, if you're going to play that role of scoring 16 points, right, or 17 or whatever, how low you are, then play that role all the way. What I mean by that is when it's third or fourth and 1, you don't run a play action pass on 4th and 1. You run the football. That's what you do, because that's the role of that type of. When you play that style, if you're gonna score that low, then you're playing a ball control game. It goes back to what Glenn was talking about. All right, you don't put the ball in the hands of Taylor Heinicke to wing it. You were happy with your defense. You're like, we're up 17-10. You run the football. You know what I mean? You just run it and just bleed that clock. You saw what the Tennessee Titans did with Kansas City, though they lost, but Dan was beat Kansas City with a rookie quarterback who barely threw the football. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew what they had. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to game plan for Scott Turner, you know who your quarterback is. He's a guy that's feast or famine. He's 50-50, and 50-50 is being nice, right? He's like, he throws it up. He just throws it up, right? So when you have a quarterback like that you cannot trust, you got a defense that plays good football, it's up to you as a coordinator to say, all right, this is what he does. I got to negate him from doing this. I got to do this. If you coach at any level of any type of sport, you deal with this in all sports. You don't tell a kid who don't have range to shoot a 3 to shoot 3s. You put that kid, girl or boy, in a position where they are close enough to make a shot. It was near the free throw paint or layup or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Wally, before the podcast, we talked about one word, and we talked about logic.
Logic.
Okay? Logic.
Logic.
You know what I'm saying? Some of these things that they're doing are not logical. And you're going away and trying to put a square peg in a round hole, and it's not working.
It's not working. I think I say this every week. He tries to outthink the defensive coordinator, right? He tries to make, it's 4th and 1. He's not thinking I'm going to run the ball here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it. Most coaches or most offensive coordinators, if I trust my offensive line, if I trust my running back, if we need 1 yard, I am lining up with 1 yard, and I'm telling my dogs up front, we need 1 yard, right? We need 1 yard. And you can do that very simply. You don't have to start. You can slide your running back up, right? Running back doesn't have to be 4 or 5 yards back. He's at a deficit already 7 yards when he gets the football. So what happens is you slide up. So it's different things that Scott Turner as offensive coordinator can do. We saw it with, matter of fact, the Minnesota Vikings did it. They needed 1 yard, right? And what did they do? They put the ball in their playmaker's hand. Jefferson, Washington closed in. Everybody was pinching A-B gap. Yeah. Well, they ran outside because, again, they did the unthinkable. They still ran the football 1 yard. We're gonna put the ball in our dog's hand and let's get the ball. Antonio Gibson was running hard. Put the ball in the guy's hand. He's big dude. He will fall forward and get you 1 yard.
Yeah, you saw Brian Robinson prior to the play. He on his own fell into 2 yards. It was like all you need was a half a yard. And you went for. And instead of going for it, instead of just running the football, he tried to do a play action pass. Idiot. But the pressure's definitely on this dude, man. It's just he's not logical. Like my man DA said, he's not logical, man. It's like he's playing Madden. Like he's playing Madden, not like all Madden. He's playing like Madden rookie or something. I don't even know. Like he just
we should be scoring.
I know, but he thinking like he on rookie, he thinking like he on rookie, like this is gonna work. But other folks playing all Madden. He playing rookie. So he thinking like, oh, this is gonna work. But the defense is playing all man, bro. He playing rookie. That's my problem with him, man. Like this dude, he on one. I've been on the hashtag Fire Scott Turner thing since the beginning, since day one. Like people been trying to get me off of it, but I've been on it since day one.
You need to start rocking that. You need to start rocking that shirt. Just
I know I need to buy that shirt, man.
Just do hashtag Fire Scott.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like people talk about Snyder sell the team. That's God bless him. Like this thing needs to take some smoke too, man. Like
he will be the scapegoat. I think if this team does not exceed a 500 record, if this team doesn't get to where they want to be at, team doesn't make the playoffs, which is hard pressed right now, believe it or not, then Ron Rivera is going to have to do something with his staff.
Yeah.
Right? Either he's going to take the full blunt of it.
It's not going to be Del Rio. It's not going to be Del Rio.
Either he's going to take the full blunt of it, or he's going to get rid of somebody on his staff. One of these guys got to go. Either
the only person it could be is to be honest with you, because at first it was everybody wanted to campaign for Del Rio to be gone. It ain't going to be him.
And they got it together.
Yeah. So the only person it could be that creates some type of noise that makes people feel good about themselves is only one place. It's only one person. It's got to be Scott Turner. That's the only person it can be, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel for the. I don't feel. No, I want to say I feel for the dude. I don't feel for the dude. The dude is trash. I don't feel for him.
You know what? And to be honest, I don't even think he's gonna move from him because Ron Rivera is a loyalist. So
he's so loyal. That's a problem.
He's gonna get, and I hate to use this expression, but he's gonna give him enough rope to finish the rest of the pun. But he's the loyalist. He's gonna let him stay and let him do his thing as long as we're in the mix for.
Yeah. I think. I mean, I'm hoping for next season though. I'm hoping like with a new owner.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's something I'm hoping. I know he's got this job throughout this year. I know that. I'm not going to even argue. Like, but my hope is that with a new owner, he still has to prove himself. Ron Rivera, you want to go into the season to be prepared to show the new owner that you're willing to do something. You can't have this. You can't have the same.
You're assuming Ron Rivera's coming back.
Oh, he is. No, he is. He's coming back.
And I think he will for whatever this ownership transition. I think he will be there for at least for 1 year, and then that's when they blow it up.
Oh, I'm gonna say that like this is what it is for him. This is my prediction, and I'm not gonna talk ill on Ron Rivera because he's been through enough, with his mother passing. But I will say this though, like he has to show some type of winning during 2023. Like he'll get fired if he's doing the same. He's gonna get fired in the middle of the season. That I will predict. Now, so that's what I'm saying. Like he has an opportunity. So that's what I'm saying. Going into this season, he has to be prepared to whatever it takes to try to prove to win football games. So he can't do. This is what I was telling folks prior about him with Daniel Snyder. Daniel Snyder's all about PR. So he already had a longer rope with Daniel Snyder. What I mean by that is Daniel Snyder ain't worried about the product on the field. He worried about PR stuff. And he knows if he fired Ron Rivera, that's bad PR on him. That he don't want anything like that. So Ron Rivera really had no pressure. That's why I think he acts a certain way. He has no pressure. Now with a new owner, there's more pressure. There is more pressure. I don't know, like people don't really want to talk. That is more pressure on him. You know what I mean? He's guaranteed this year regardless. He was guaranteed another year regardless.
I also think it's timing of the sale. So I think if the sale isn't before December or January,
agreed.
They're not gonna have enough time to fill the staff and prepare for a draft. So that's the reason why I think Ron at least has, of course, the end of this year and next year before they blow everything up.
Yeah, I agree. And now if this sale is fast, say
like
what's happening, like
if they sell it like how these houses been on the real estate market, if it's like that, boom, all right, we good.
Yeah, we good. Then Ron could be gone. Like real talk. Then he could be gone. Then he really could be gone. All right, so question, this is hypothetically speaking. I'm sorry with you, Glenn. If Heinicke struggles again, like he struggled against the Vikings, right? Could you see Sam Howell being in this game? Say Heinicke gets yanked out this game and Sam Howell is thrown in?
No.
Okay,
if he gets pulled.
Yes, so you get pulled. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Look, if Heinicke's playing the same way, because the Eagles are a different monster, they're gonna score too. The Eagles are a different monster.
No. No.
So say that Heinicke throws a pick. He throws a pick. They ain't moving the ball. He ain't accurate.
No.
They don't yank him?
No, they're not at home. They're on the road. If he was at home, they'll probably pull him, but they're on the road.
Okay.
They're in Philly. I don't think they're pulling him. Because again, you don't want to put that young kid in that situation right? I know he is an NFL player.
Yeah.
And I know that he's qualified. We saw him in preseason. You don't put him in a meaningless game if you're getting spanked and you're smoked. You don't get that kid hurt, or you don't mess with his ego. I think you let him ride it out and you let him have a fresh week. If you let Heinicke ride his bad boy out, take all the bumps, take all the lumps, unless he's injured, Sam Howell should get a fresh week to prepare, a week to be in as a starter from the beginning, not yanked in the middle of a game and try to save or try to be the savior for this team when it's not looking good. Let the young man come with a fresh slate and have a good, and let Heinicke take take the L on his chin by himself.
DH.
What was the question? Can you
All
repeat
right,
it?
so if Heinicke looks as bad as he did against the Vikings.
I'm joking.
Okay, good. You're scared.
Listen.
Oh, damn.
Listen.
Okay.
The Tar Heel is ready.
He's
Okay.
ready. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The Tar Heel is ready.
That's
Listen
what
to
I'm
me.
talking about.
Listen to what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Losing
bro.
effort, winning effort. 14 has had the playbook for 7 months. 14 has been through adversity. 14 was the day one starter at UNC, and he's my guy. So I'm putting it on his back. He's ready. He's ready to take this team to levels that we've never been before. The 5th round pick that should have been a 1st round pick if he came out a year sooner. Sam Howell is ready to go. And I'm going to tell you what, if it's in a losing effort, that's fine. He'll do the best he can with that time and be prepared to go for Houston because it's time for a change. Heinicke is done. How for 2022?
I love it. I love it. All right, so on Facebook page, my man Joseph Jones said he posted, I vote no, keep him healthy for next year. Okay. Oh, next year. Y'all waiting too long. Next year. All right. Well, we gotta see him now. Jeff Bryant.
And I have a whole reasoning behind why you need to play him right now. But go ahead, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, okay. So my man Jeff Bryant said unless he's knocked out, no, unless it's like 42-7 in the 4th. But the way our defense is playing with Chase coming back, nobody's blowing this out. Go ahead, Darian. I want you to go ahead and say what you want to say.
Okay, so check this out. The Washington Commanders went into this offseason with one goal: find a quarterback, right? So they pieced together a situation. They traded for Carson Wentz. You kept Heinicke on the roster. That's his new name from now on.
Heinicke. I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it. Heinicke. Yes, this is true. I'm still in that one. I'm still in that one.
You kept him on the roster for another year, and you draft Sam Howell in the 5th round, with your hopes being Carson playing a full season and you're able to bring Sam along, okay? But in a perfect world, none of that happens, okay? You're in a spot right now where you still have some opportunities to get to the playoffs, and Heinicke is not playing well, okay?
Not.
Here's why you need to see Sam Howell sooner rather than later, because you need to determine if we're going to be in quarterback hell this offseason again. Okay, push come to shove, I got a whole bunch of faith in my guy. I'm just keeping it. I'm keeping it 100. I'm saying, I'm keeping it 100. But the Commanders need to see what they actually have, because we need to see. Okay, are we drafting for a top 10 quarterback this year? Are we going back on the veteran market, or will Sam play the end of the season and play lights out? Where you like, we got our guy, we can build everywhere else, help him get guys on offensive line. So I think you don't have the luxury of waiting to try to bring a guy along to see, because let's say Sam turns out to be the guy, but you never see it until a situation next year. You wasted a draft pick on a quarterback that you don't need.
Yeah.
Right. So you need to let him play. And look, this would all be out the window if Taylor Heinicke was playing well, or if Carson Wentz was healthy. But neither of those things are fact. Okay. Yeah. So you owe it to yourself as an organization to see what you have in the pick, because if you're not going to play him, you should have drafted somebody else in the 5th round. Because this team can definitely afford to have somebody else. So you need to see him at some point to see what you have in him, okay, and then to see what your offseason plan going to be for next year.
It's also on Twitter. Oh, I'm going to go to you, Glenn. But on Twitter, I'm just read this poll. We did the poll on Twitter, and it has 47% yes, they would see him being yanked. If he plays bad. 53% says no. So a lot of people agree with you, Glenn. But go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah. I don't think we see how, because of Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera says Carson Wentz is his guy. He said he traded for Carson Wentz. Yeah. And you spoke about it earlier, DH. Ron Rivera is loyal. Ron Rivera is loyal sometimes to a fault. So what will happen, what will take place when, unless something happens to Heinicke, and Carson Wentz gets healthy. Once Carson Wentz gets healthy, he's getting the keys back to the car.
Should be about the Texans game.
Right. He's getting the keys back to the car. They're gonna ride out and see whether we can it's Carson Wentz's ship to ride with. Again, Hal is gonna just sit there and maybe get a game or two. But if Carson Wentz is healthy, because Ron Rivera said it to the media, this is my guy. He put it out there and he's loyal. He's gonna stick with Carson because he doesn't ever want to look like he didn't give his word or he went against his word.
So this is what I will say about, because I'm on both sides with it, kind of like. But I guess I wanted to see Hal be the quarterback. Like I want to get his chance now, and it's a similar reason for what DH is speaking, but a little different too at the same time. I want to see him play because I want to see a player. I hate the whole thing of, oh, we can't have him play against this team or that team or whatever. I want to see him play against toughness. Like I want to see you be tested by dogs. I don't want to see you play. Yeah, there's a thing. Oh, let's let him play against the Texans. I was cool. Like I want to see you. I want you to be tested. Like I want you, because I need to know how you're going to play when you hit adversity. Like it's easy. We know this in life in general. It's easy when things are going good. It's easy. That's easy money. Like we good. When pressure hits you, I want to see how you turn up. You know what I'm saying? Like I dog Justin Fields, but he's getting better. He played against the Patriots. That's pressure. Bill Belichick takes away young quarterbacks. He got that money. That lets you know, like he's now ascending. Like so in this situation here, like if push come to shove, if Taylor Heinicke's throwing that Packers game, and when them dudes ain't dropping the ball, they catching them interceptions. If he has that type of game, I want to see Sam Howell come in quick. Like to me, like I want to see what he got. If he a fifth rounder, of course a lot of us are expecting him to struggle, right? That's what everybody's telling us. That's what the media is telling us. Oh, he's not ready. So it's wild. Like you're saying, he's not ready, and some of y'all haven't even been in practice, but y'all saying he's not ready. Okay, he's not ready. All right, but what if he comes out and balls? And I will say this too. Just because the coaching staff tells you that, do you really believe the coaching staff? This is the staff you going to believe?
That trust level.
Yeah. Is that the staff you're going to believe? Like they say your quarterback isn't ready. They're the same. Coach Rivera is the same dude that just told you that Taylor Heinicke had a good game against barring an interception, had a good game against the Vikings. If you all watched the game, he didn't have a good game.
196 yards of offense, right? 196 yards passing, and 49 of that was because he threw in triple coverage and Curtis Samuel.
Because the referee got in the way.
Because the referee got in the way. If he doesn't have that pass, he's under 100. He's right at 100 yards passing.
Yeah. What you want to say, DH?
So look, man, I go back to this with Sam, right? All right. If y'all don't know, man, I'm a huge UNC Tar Heel fan. I've seen every throw of his since he's been there. And I go back to this one game in the 2019 season, his rookie season, where they went up against the number 2 Clemson Tigers and lost 21-20. Okay. That game, I think it was week 6 of that season. That game was a whole lot of adversity. And the only reason they lost because Mac Brown decided to go for 2 at the end of the game, and we didn't get it. Because
right? Want to go for win, yeah.
Exactly. So you go for the win. At home, you go for the win always. Against the number 2 team, that'd have been a huge upset. Yeah. But I go back to say this because that whole year he dealt with a lot of adversity. A true freshman, 18 years old, recent flip from Florida State, comes in and starts week 1 against South Carolina. Yeah. And beat them 24-20. And you look and you like, whoa, we don't know what type of guy we have, right? So then you go through that whole season, and then 2020 has one of the best years in statistical history at UNC. And then 2021 takes a step back.
He lost De'Ami Brown and company.
Exactly. Lost a whole bunch and lost Michael Carter and Javonte Williams, the 2-headed monster. So and he still played well. So I go back and look and I say, man, listen, if he's not ready, when is he ever going to be ready? A lot of times, well, as you can see over the Colts, you just need a chance, right? You just need an opportunity. You know, you give Jeff Saturday a job. Now he might be the best head coach ever. We don't know, but he had a chance, right? Yeah. So you throw him in there and give him an opportunity to play. Sometimes a lot of these guys got to learn trial by fire. Josh Allen didn't have the best rookie.
Oh my God, everybody thought he was the worst quarterback ever.
Buffalo was ready to give up on him. And
Yeah, they thought he was bad, terrible.
They thought he was bad. I know. You're right. I use that example all the time.
Then he had some time, worked through his issues, and got better, right? So I think with Sam Howell, you have to figure out at some point you're going to have to give him an opportunity to see what you have before you go into the future.
But see, Darren, this is my thing, and I agree with you. This is why I totally agree with you. This is my issue, though. It's like, not with Sam Howell, but it's like who is he competing with? Like he competed with Taylor Heinicke. It's like, y'all not looking at the stats. Rookies do this. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, his stats, rookies do this. He make rookie mistakes. Like, that's what bothers me about the whole, well, Sam Howell isn't ready. Like, y'all understand, like, we all just talked about this dude just do a Hail Mary and triple coverage. Like, in the first, and if it wasn't for a referee, it would have been picked off. Like, he just threw it up. Rookies do this. Like, seriously, like rookies literally do this. Those are rookie plays. Rookies make flash plays. Rookies run out the pocket and get you yards. When they can't see somebody open. Rookies the ball sail when people are wide open. This happens with rookies.
Fellas, I promise you, and y'all know I'm a positive fan, bro. I'm an optimistic fan.
Yes.
But I've never been more disappointed in a touchdown in my entire life.
Exactly.
I'm like, bruh. I'm like, who throws this? I'm like, great, we scored. But I'm like, bro, who throws this? It's the worst, literally the worst decision. And then if you look at the replay, they Terry McLaurin is running down the middle of the field wide open.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I thought legitimately until when it was in the air, I was like, that's a pick. That's a pick.
You knew it. You've seen it before.
When he threw it, I like, that's a pick. And then when referee get hit, I said, oh dang, referee's in the way. He had the ball. You know, you made a point there. I think if you look at Sam Howell and with this offensive coordinator and this team, you wonder if they're trying to play the Jordan Love situation. All right, let him sit, or if he's trying to play, well, let's be honest, Patrick Mahomes, because Mahomes was behind Alex Smith for a while before he got the opportunity to play and to showcase his skills. When he got the chance, he took it and ran with it, right? Mm-hmm. Is this team holding on to Sam Howell because they wanted to give him a fresh opportunity to display his skills, and they really believe that Taylor Heinicke or Carson Wentz gives them the best chance to win?
So I'm gonna tell you why you can't play around with that, because and other coaches maybe don't have the leeway that Ron has, because Ron firmly believes that he's gonna be here throughout his contract. So maybe that's the role he's playing, where he'd say, I want to give him an opportunity to fresh start. But at some point, when it's not working, you have to change it. You have to throw the plans out the window, because if you keep going on the same plan and it's not working, then you're committed to losing. You're committed to what this is. And if you want it to change, you have to do something different, especially if it's not working.
And this is the thing why it may not. It depends what your record is going to be. And this is the problem. If you're a top 5 team, top 5 pick, say you do this, right? You stick this whole route and you just lose games. If you're a top 5 team, you're not. Then you're out the whole. Let me see what I have with Sam Howell. You're not going to do it. This is politics. We know this in football. If you get a chance to get one of them quarterbacks that they talking about, they're going to take the quarterback. Then you're like, okay. And then like to DH's point, say Sam Howell looks good in camp. Then you have a problem. If he hits the field and he starts throwing darts and looking accurate, then you're like, oh, dang. I just drafted a quarterback, but he's the quarterback. I could probably got a guard, a tackle, instead of drafting him. Like, you got to do this because you're going to draft the quarterback. Like, if you're in the top 5, you're going to draft the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. And then, so say you F around and you win a bunch of games, because you have some bad teams on the schedule. So say you win 7 games again. You're in the middle of the pack. So what are you going to do at quarterback after that then? You ain't going to go back with, you want to go back with Carson Wentz?
They need to win the Super Bowl or suck.
Yes, this is the truth. This is the truth. Like, this is the problem. Like, to me, I would play the kid now. I would play him now. I would have played him earlier, to be honest with you. This is me, though. I would have played him earlier. Like, when Carson went down, I would have played him. Like, it wouldn't have been, you know what Taylor Heinicke is. Like, you know what he's about. Look, he probably going to win you like 7 games again. They're going to get 7 games. Everybody's going to be like, oh, Heinicke, if he had a whole season, he would be, but no, this is the same thing. He's going to win 7 games because it's going to be, he's going to play the same teams. They're going to give him issues. I know what's going to happen. He's going to play the Eagles. They're going to give him big issues because they have like 5 interceptions. He's going to play like the Cowboys. He'll play Cowboys. Oh my God. Like, I don't know where Diggs is at in interception list right now this season, but he gonna catch up big time. Like he makes Diggs like he can strap Terry. That's what bothers me. Like he makes Diggs seem like he is strapping Terry ASAP. Like everything he throws up to like because he underthrows it, and Diggs got ball skills, so he's going to get it. So I'm just telling you, like them games, he showed. He already showed.
Fellas, there is an art of throwing the football, right? And
Yes.
not every quarterback throws bullet passes. All sometimes you do need to get some touch and underthrow passes.
Agreed.
But that's not your go-to every time.
Every time.
No,
man.
not every time. No.
This one is not enough.
Yes.
He don't have the cannon. He got a noodle on his shoulder, bro. It's not good enough. And I'm not here to bash the man. I'm really not. But you have a guy, a former baseball player in Sam Howell, who can sling the ball.
Who can sling it?
When the bread and butter at Carolina, when we wasn't running RPOs, it was De'Ami Brown on an over route.
Yeah.
Which we wide open. And on the over route that Taylor threw, that was an interception. But we got lucky. He threw up a prayer, and he's got lucky multiple weeks. But on an over route like that, bro, that ball has to be to nobody or the receiver. It can't be in triple coverage with the hopes of a ref tripping guys up. That's what I'm saying, bro. He don't have the arm ability to make some of these throws. And if that's the case, and if they're gonna keep playing him, then throw those plays out of the playbook.
It can't be
20 and in. That's it.
It can't be a pass where you throw him leaning back with your eyes closed, neither, right? And
that's my issue. I just look, man. This is why I asked folks from the Heinicke Hive. You know what I mean? I ask them this question all the time. Like, why? What makes your guy so good? You know what I mean? Like, what are his quarterback attributes? What are they?
Right.
Quarterback attributes. You know, not stop saying just heart. Like, I know he's a gamer. He has heart. I know that already. Like, I acknowledge that. Moxie, I get that. I understand that. I know what that is. All right. I know what a sports player who has moxie and heart. I know that. I've seen it in multiple sports. But as a quarterback, you never use these adjectives. You never use good arm. You never use if he doesn't have a good arm, that doesn't happen often. I give you that. You never use accuracy. When I ever say accuracy?
Personality traits
you never say accuracy or precision or anticipation. You never say any of that. He knows the playbook. This is one, he knows the playbook, so he knows his homework. He knows the playbook. He's experienced, and he's gutsy. He can run. That too. He can run. I'll give you that. Yeah. He can run. Look, man, like that's the only, if you're using those qualities to describe him, that lets you know what kind of dude he is. Like, I'm serious. Even the dude Zappy for the Patriots, he's accurate. His arm ain't super strong. It's adequate. It ain't strong if you look at today's NFL. But he's accurate. He's precise. He's also, and his anticipation is like that. Like, he anticipates where their player is going to be and throws it to a spot. Heinicke doesn't do that. Like, he rarely does that. You know what I'm saying? And he's not accurate. If you got a weak arm, I want you to be accurate. Like, that's my thing. Like, if you got a weak arm, I need you to be accurate. Like, I need you to be accurate.
You got to put them in positions.
Yes.
You got to put them in right play calls and right positions for them to be accurate.
Yeah,
if you're an offensive coordinator, you know your guy has a limp noodle. I'm not asking him to throw 50 yards down the field on a rope, right?
Yeah.
I'm not asking him to I'm asking him to stay within his range, his intermediate range, the 10 to 15, maybe the 7 to 8.
What's all I need from
jump off between 5 and whatever case may be, and make your money off of that.
The crossover Logan Thomas is wide open.
That's what I'm saying. He barely
he sold that thing. He sold it and for that interception. He was wide open. Logan Thomas was wide open on that route. Wide open.
Bro, I swear, I was watching that play and my Spotify turned on. It was Christopher Cross. Sail away. You 10 yards away from him.
10 away. Yeah, I know.
Give it to him. And you sail him on your back foot, bro.
Sailed him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to.
You sail to the 6'6" guy.
Yeah, exactly. 6'6". And we talk about this dude is good. That's why.
He throwing to me, bro. He was throwing to Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas, bro.
He could sub as a power forward for the Wizards if he wanted to, bro.
Right. Right.
Man, this dude. So, hey, man. So before we end, hey, give me your predictions, man. This game, like, I'm sorry, DH. What do you got?
It's going to be a nail biter for about 10 minutes. And then after that, They're gonna run away with it. But no. And I'll be honest. I say this. I think they're gonna fight. The defense always
They
plays
fight.
well. I think they might have a puncher's chance. It's some things go our way, but we have to play within ourselves. But even with that, I don't think it'll be enough. It could be something similar to the earlier game where we lost 24-8. I would say I would give them 31-14, something along those lines. It may be a big one.
Something similar to the last game. I got you. Glenn, prediction.
Well, this team doesn't do well on Monday Night Football anyway.
Oof.
This team doesn't do well in prime time anyway. And so when you factor all that into it, and I'm gonna go Rick Steiner, can we talk about 33 1/3 percentage of the game? But Scott Steiner, sorry, 33 1/3, and I'm 66.5. But this team would lose 28-10, man. It's gonna be a 28-10 game with the Philadelphia Eagles winning. And I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm gonna be wrong on this one. And I think DH said it earlier. Take the under.
Yeah. I do think the defense is going to play well. But I think the score is going to be higher. It's going to be at a point where you're going to think, oh, they didn't play that well, but they did play well. Because I think it's Taylor Heinicke. It's going to throw 3 interceptions. I believe it. I believe it. Those corner, if he's going to throw those passes, they're going to allow him to throw those passes. He's going to throw 3 picks. And yeah, I'm going to say this game's going to be 30. It's going to be 30. They're going to get 30. 31-10. 31-10. It's going to be bad.
I can hear Joe Buck now. Another interception for Heinicke.
I'm just serious. Unless Scott Turner goes ham on running the football, which he should, to be honest with you, but he probably won't, then it's going to be the same old. But I 31-10. And then after that, Carson comes back. Carson will be back. That's my prediction. But I'm hoping I get Sam Howell in this game, though. I do want to see Sam Howell in this game. That's just me, though. But also on Twitter, we're talking about Sam Howell. If Taylor Heinicke struggles with Sam Howell coming into this game, my man Commando Bando says, struggling isn't enough, especially considering the O-line and coordinator. Taylor would have to be completely shell-shocked by Philly. I'm front of the nation before I think you go to Howell. I think Heinicke, all he got to do is play as bad as he did against the Vikings. I think if he plays bad enough, because that was a bad game. If he does the same thing and doesn't score in the first half, if there's no urgency, if he doesn't value the football, if he's not running the offense, because you can see, we saw it in the game where it just looked like he just didn't have it. So if I'm seeing that, we got to move on from him early. But
you do. And give credit to him. You got to.
Yeah, definitely. My man Fat Mondo said, I don't think I'd be worth it. I haven't heard anything about how since the draft, how he's progressing and how he looks in the pocket. I don't think the thought of him putting him in has come up. I think Ron's plan is to ride with Heinicke until Wentz is ready. I think that's his plan. I agree. I think until Wentz is ready.
Yeah, that's his plan.
I think it's his plan. I just think that also, but it goes back to my point is that my point is Howell can't be this bad. That's my point. He can't be this bad. Now if Heinicke was throwing for 300 yards, then I'll be with you. Even 200 yards. Let me run even 200 yards consistently.
Right.
But he's the style of play that they're running. This is my issue. The style of play that they're playing, run heavy, play action off it. Howell can do the same thing. I don't care what you, and it ain't like Scott Turner is running like awesome plays to a point where he can't run these plays. That's all I'm saying. We gotta wide receiver screen, read option, running back screen, occasional bomb with a weak arm quarterback. What else, man? Really? What does he have to learn to throw? All he has to do is throw the ball up to Scary Terry, and everybody's happy.
That's it.
I told you. I think DH said it, and I said it last week. He has to continue to roll out the pocket, but you only can do that when you run the football, right? When you run the football, then play action, bootlegs, and stuff like that work. If you run a little bit of stretch on offense, you get the offensive line going one way. All right, you run stretch offense, outside zone, people will call it. Run a little bit of outside zone, and then you can come back the other way with this guy and be able to protect him or slide the pocket, slide left, slide right, depends on where you want him to go.
If Taylor was playing as good as Cooper Rush did, we wouldn't even have an issue because
Yes.
Cooper Rush played within himself. Of course, he had a few turnovers, but he was able to manage the game, use his weapons, and let them do the thing, right? Taylor is not a good game manager. He doesn't make the plays when he needs to. The plays where he needs moxie and his clutch gene to kick in, he don't make them.
No.
So that's not good enough. So you can see if he can't manage the game the way you need to, who's to say Sam Howell can't manage the game at a similar level, if not better, until Wentz comes back?
I'm with
because
you.
he cannot be any worse than what he is.
That's what I'm saying. Like you trying to tell me that all right, he can't score 17 points on against a bad defense? All right, forget that then. Like 13 points is like what? He's 3 points worse than Taylor Heinicke? Like Taylor Heinicke is bad. Dude, they're only scoring 16 points a game. Come on now. If
you don't think Howell can play better than Heinicke, then you should have saved that 5th round pick and not drafted him.
Yes, that's my point. That's the excellent point.
Yeah.
If you think he can't do better than this, then you shouldn't even draft him as the
you shouldn't draft,
at all. Like, because this is bad. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, if the defense wasn't so good, like if the defense was playing like it was playing in the beginning of the season, like they play against Detroit, the whole Heinicke thing wouldn't even be a thing.
We'd be getting boat raced every
week.
That's
what I'm saying. Like, I don't need to hear that. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all keep saying, well, if he started, the defense, Heinicke didn't even have this type of defense, man. Like, the only thing I agree with the Heinicke have is that the Tennessee game, the last play, maybe he runs it in. Like, I'll give you that. But he wouldn't even get to that point though. Like, he wouldn't find De'Ami Brown. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
He went through 2 consecutive good.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's my argument. Like, that's why I tell him, like, yeah, I'll give you that last play. He could run that in. I'll give you that. I believe he probably could. Maybe he'll give you like the Heinicke dive, the one everybody loves. But he ain't find De'Ami twice.
Nah, not on a run anyway.
He ain't find De'Ami twice. And he won't even get, and not on the stride or not even close. He underthrow De'Ami. That's an interception. Yeah. Both plays are intercepted because he's underthrowing De'Ami. So that's what it is. What it
would have made De'Ami look bad because if De'Ami drops a pass, if De'Ami looks bad, I'm telling you.
I love De'Ami, man. That's my guy. So
I do too, but we haven't seen De'Ami since the 2 touchdowns.
We got hurt. De'Ami was hurt. He was hurt, and he came back. Yes, he came back Sunday.
Limited snaps. Yeah,
limited snaps. He had that one play where the defender made a play on the break on the ball. But De'Ami ain't good with. It ain't gonna work with Taylor Heinicke. De'Ami can't work with Taylor Heinicke. He can't.
I think I know a quarterback he might play well with. I don't know.
Oh, I know.
I know you do. I know you do.
That's actually why I want. I think it would be kind of dope if he played with him, because then De'Ami would get attempts, but you always that means Terry might. If De'Ami gets attempts, Terry gets single covers. Samuel, Jahan, it makes it easier. I think
it does. But let's give him credit. He's missing Jahan.
Yeah.
Who? He missing Jahan, and we know with Carson when Carson.
Heinicke's missing Jahan.
Yeah, because if you look at the touchdowns that Carson went through early in the year,
great straight play. Yeah, I know. Jahan would make great plays for make great. He would be good for Taylor Heinicke.
Yes, he would.
But also, I think
he's still overthrowing. We still overthrow him because he can overthrow Logan Thomas. So it doesn't matter.
I think you're missing a lot on offense without a true deep ball threat. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree.
You don't have that. So if you have somebody in there that can throw that thing, it's gonna back the corners up, back the safeties up. They understand I cannot let this ball get over my head, right? Okay. Yeah. With Heinicke in the game, you can keep everything in front of you and feel comfortable
all the time, man.
Because you can catch up to the ball if you need to.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, that's a good point because he can't throw that deep. He's not a Hail Mary type guy. He's not. I don't think he's caught anybody on a stride yet.
He called Curry. I'll give him the Packers throw. That one was on stride.
I'll
give you.
And I gave him so many props on Twitter. That was a great throw. Only he could get it, and that was a perfect throw.
That was. I told people that's the best. That's the awesomest 30-yard bomb I've seen in my life. It's just a 30-yard bomb. That's the best 30-yard bomb I've ever seen.
Like 60, bro.
I know. Everybody said, "You see that bomb?" I was like, "Hey, stop!"
Hey,
I had to stop people. That's
we all
30
know
yards.
Terry made him look good yet again.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Terry, but I just wanted folks to know, like, that was a 30-yard. That was a 30-yard bomb. Like,
Yeah,
Bro, I promise in my head, I thought that was like a 50 or 60-yard
I
bomb.
know everybody thought that. Like, everybody was hyping it. I was like, yo, chill. I ain't tell folks chill.
You mean
chill.
to tell me he threw a corner route?
Yes,
10-yard corner.
basically. That's what it was.
Yo.
I was like,
Our corner in the bucket. That's it.
I was like, folks was so hyped. I was like, yeah, that was the best 30-yard bomb I've ever seen in my life.
Mhm.
I had to stop, folks. I was like, yeah, you're right. That was amazing.
Hey.
They were like, you see his arm? I was like, oh God, this is what we're doing today.
One of 2,000 was great throw.
Oh my
Right.
God, man.
And but they got this guy throwing 38, 40 times a game. Like he's Patrick Mahomes, who's throwing like 68 times a game, right?
Yeah.
Why are the Commanders? He can't. The more you let him throw, the greater the chance he gets to throw an interception.
Agreed. So,
the more he throw, one of these gonna be picked. Because even if the one, and we talked about, even if the one that wasn't picked at the end of the game, there was several that was tipped that went through players' hands that should have been picked.
Yeah.
The Green Bay game where they had the interception return, where it was a flag.
Yeah.
I mean,
the fumble return. You mean the fumble return?
Yeah, the fumble return.
Yeah, they got the pick six. They got that one.
Exactly. But not that. Dang, I forgot about Teddy. Did
That's what I'm saying. The dude. They got that one.
He's automatically throw a pick a game, baby.
And that's what everybody get. Like, no, it was so funny. This is what kills me. It's like he gets credit for like getting that win, but dude, you cost them with that pick six. It's like dude puts you in a bind and everybody forgets it. Like they forget it. That's my problem. Like,
bruh.
Oh, he ain't throw a pick six. He ain't do that.
Bruh, that's my analogy, bro. He will trick up the game so bad and then make a play at the end of the game.
Yes,
no, not even him.
Yes.
Your guys will make a play.
Yes, they make a play for him.
Bro, because let me tell you what, that Colts pass was a terrible ball. A good quarterback throws that ball to the
back of the end zone for a touchdown. Exactly.
He can get it.
Yeah.
And Terry not have to go up and be a dog.
I will say this though, on the flip side though, about that play, I said this before. Like it was a good play. It was actually a blessing that it was on the one. Yeah. Because you got to drain more clock.
Yeah.
But you're right. A good quarterback does throw a touchdown. But in my mind, I was like, you know what? That's a good thing.
but look what the last image is. Look what the last image is. Him running in for a touchdown.
I know.
As if the game couldn't have been won 2 quarters ago.
I know.
Yo, they want to make him the hero.
Like they did on purpose. Ron and Scott know what they doing. They know what they doing. Hey, we better wrap this show. Hey, DH. Hey, thanks for being on, my man. Let our listeners know what you have coming down the pike, what you got going on, the social media again, the show, everything, man. Be detailed with the joint, my man.
All right, man, I got you. Well, first off, thank y'all for having me on the show, man. You know, I watch every week, and I'm just appreciative of being on the show, man. So thank you. Of course, y'all can check me out every week on the Breaking Command podcast. Me and my guy D Mitty, a D&D football podcast, where every week we break down everything Commanders and get into a little bit of NFL stuff. Also, I'm a huge wrestling fan. We have the Kings of the Ring podcast where you can catch it everywhere. We talk about WWE, AEW, NWA, WCW from back in the day, everything, man. We get it in. Love it. Also, I mean, voice actor too. So it's a lot of voice things coming down the line. Cartoons, perhaps. Some different commercials, perhaps. So stay on and check me out. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at DH_MVJOR. And on Instagram, it's DWillVo. So you can check me out everywhere. Hit me up. Let's link. Let's chat. Go Command.
I love it, man. Nick Aldis may be going. Leave it NWA.
Hey man, he could fit in the WWE with this new with Hunter. I think man, they push him to the moon, bro.
I think so. I think he's a good fit there too as well.
Absolutely. He comes back, his wife comes back too.
I think so too. I think it's a package deal. I think it's gonna happen too. I really think it's gonna happen. Hey, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Podcasts. Just search all Burgundy and Go Errrything. Also tweet us at ABG_Errrything. And hit us up on IG at ABG_Errrything, and like our All Burgundy and Go Errrything Facebook page. Don't forget to subscribe to our All Burgundy and Go Errrything YouTube channel. Anyway, this has been dope. Appreciate DH, appreciate Glenn as always. Shout out to the homie Ray and Mo. But, you know they're not here. You know, we always got them with us. Anyway, you've been listening to all Burgundy and Gold Errrything, powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia, for ages. You dig? Deuces, a mega. Lead us out, big homie. Peace.